and I have used this Stampin' Up! Honeycomb embossing folder, and then I rubbed some of the white paint on that as well. Added a few flowers. These are just, let me see, these are the champagne pink decorative flowers, and then the bottom are just some I've had in my stash. They're just in this jar, and I've had them for such a long time, and I'm trying to use some of them now. Added some twine, and that's this one. So very little dimension on that, and not a lot to, you know, get snagged in their purse. This is one I made for my daughter. This is a little nickname her friends at school gave her. And so basically the same thing, just different pattern paper in different colors, and the backs look like this. Okay, so that's two. And then I also made this one. This one I used a stamp on the front, and that just came from a Vintage Verses stamp set, and fussy cut that out, inked it up around the edges. Twine's the same, paper collection's the same. But then I've added a couple of the summer blooms. I have used the summer blooms in the 1.5 inch or 38 millimeter. And I've also, and then I inked around that as well with the Snowcap Dabber. And then I also used the smaller ones, the 27 millimeter or 1 inch for the top there. And then this is just a little flower, lace flower that I have had in my stash. And then one of the 5 millimeter self-adhesive pearls from Wild Orchid Crafts. Added the twine. And so they just make really nice, I didn't do anything to the inside. You could, but really these are kind of disposable for the girls. Once they fill up, they don't hang on to them. But they do make a nice little, I don't know, just a fun little thing rather than just take the plain one. It just makes it a little more fun to have them special. And I like making things for them. So let's go ahead and make one together. What I'm going to do with this one is I've already done some prep work just to save on some time. I cut out two of the pattern papers, and this would be the front and this is the back, and they each measure just a little shy of 4.5 inches long by 3 inches wide. So I cut out two. I used the Zutter Round It All to round the edges on this, and then inked around it already. And then I've already cut the spine piece, and this measures 7/8 inches, so just a little bit shorter than an inch by a little shorter than 4.5 inches. So if you go to 4.5 and just take off a little smidge, that's just about perfect. And then I ran it through the embossing folder and then already inked it and have the adhesive on the back. So, and these are the color Summer Blooms that I'm using, and I've already added a little rhinestone to that and inked these up. And then another thing I'm going to do, because you notice they're all different, but I decided to add a little banner to this one. So this is just a scrap piece, and this was something I was trying out I didn't like, so I flipped it over and tried again. So this is just some Jenny Bolin ink and lavender sachet. And then the stamp Life is Grand came from this K. Andrew Designs. I don't know what it's called, but this is what it looks like. Yeah, there's no name on it. So, and then I've distressed around the edges, and I'm going to do some faux stitching and then snip this off when it gets attached, or when I know exactly how much to cut off. So let me go ahead and start with that. I'm just going to do, I thought about doing a little bit of spritz. This one I used olive ink, and it was too dark. So this one I'm going to go ahead and try and use the crumb cake marker and my spritzer tool. And I use this, I guess, on a regular basis, not with everything, but it just adds a nice little touch. And you just stick your marker in there, and then you just give it a squeeze. So that is the result that it gets. So it's just a little background just to distress a little bit more. So let me go ahead and take that out and put the cap on the brush side. Then I'm going to do just some faux stitching. And I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch me do it. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and I did stop right here because I figured that would be enough. I'm going to end up trimming it off. So, and it looks a little lighter on my screen here than what it is, but it matches the paper, so that was the color I went with. So let's go ahead and adhere the paper onto the, let me see which tape that I want to use. I think I'll use my red one just to avoid the squeaks. I don't mind doing that so much off camera, but with the squeaking, I don't like it. And I'm running low on my ATG tape, so I had to actually finally use the white ones that come with this pink one when you get them. And I've had this for 2 years. I don't know why I haven't used the white ones. I guess, you know, because they're so expensive, I figure I might as well use the Tape Depot ones and save these ones for when I really need them. Okay, so this is the front one, and I'm just going to line it up right here. And then if there's any pink showing, I am just going to use the dabber on it, which I've had to on all of them. Okay, so let me go ahead and use the dabber, and mine is so old. I've actually refilled this, so I need to get a new one, but I don't know, you know, other than remembering when I make an online order from Joann's or something, I don't have a local store that carries it, so this one's still getting me by. But okay, so you can see you can't notice the pink that's under there, so it works out really good. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same to the back. Make sure I have the orientation right. Okay. Alrighty. Oh goodness. Okay, and then here is the back done. Let me just go ahead and ink around the edges of that. You may not have to do this if you're better at cutting and measuring than I am, but I just do it roughly 4.5 inches, and then I know I can just paint over it. So back to the front, I guess I'm going to go ahead and add this banner now. I think I'll probably, let me see where I want the flower. Probably, let me see. Or maybe I want the flower over here to kind of balance that out. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So probably right here would be good. So let me go ahead and cut this part off. And I might have to do some more stitching because it doesn't look like I left myself enough unless I scoot it over a bit. No, I want it over there. Okay, so right about here, I'm going to trim this off. And then the spine piece will cover that up. So I don't need to worry about this end. I'll grab my marker here and do a little bit more stitching. I just thought it'd be fun to go ahead and create this with you guys, because I know they're easy, but you know, if you've never done it, just to kind of see how somebody else does it, might be fun. Plus we get to hang out. Okay, so this is going to go right here, and hopefully I'm doing this straight. Alrighty, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the spine. I use score tape on that. I wouldn't recommend using ATG just because it's a moving, you know, constantly moving as it opens and closes. So that's why I chose to use the score tape. Let me see, do I want it this way? Or because there's a partial honeycomb, I think I'll stick with this way. Oops. Alright. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the perfectionist in me wants it to be. So, and then what I like to do is to get my bone folder and just kind of run it along the crease there, just to help that fold over. And then push along the spine one, and then do the same on this side. Okay, and then give it a good pinch. Alright, so that's what we have so far. Let me go ahead and get these tools off my desk. And go ahead and attach the flower. Kind of layering these, and then I'm going to stick it right here. You don't have to use hot glue to do this. You could use like quick dry, or you know, it doesn't have to be something so hot. And so I know some people are afraid of getting burned with the hot glue gun. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. Okay, so that is what it looks like so far. I could have moved this up, but I didn't want to cover this little fairy. I think she's really cute. And then the last thing is just to add some string. So let me just go ahead and give myself a little room for a bow here. Make sure I don't have any of the paper. I'm going to wind it around 3 different times, and then I can adjust where the string goes from there. Actually 2 full times, and then give myself a little bit extra. And snip it off. Okay. I'll just adjust it where I think I might want it. Okay, and then the last thing is to just tie a bow. Just let me see if I can do that on film here with this fiddly little thread. Okay, well it took me 2 tries, but it looks like this one's a little better. Of course I'll still have to adjust it and get it just right. Okay, I'm going to trim the ends. I'm going to make this one a little smaller. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I want it to be a little bit loopy and a little big. And then to keep this from untying, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little smidge of hot glue underneath that knot. And then also I can place the bow exactly where I want it then, as far as angled. So that is it. You can add buttons or other embellishments, but it just makes a nice quick little project. So I could add something right here if I felt like I wanted to, but I think I like it just like this. I'll go ahead and show you the other ones that I did. And it's just using minimal supplies. Just, you could even use scrap pattern paper, and then a couple of flowers, or even just, you know, 1 flower would look nice. And that's it. It just makes a cute little, not stocking stuffer, but a little Valentine gift, something that your kids can make to give to their classes, or you can give to coworkers, just however you like. Just switching out the pattern papers gives it, of course, a totally different look. So thank you so much for watching. I will have all the links to the Wild Orchid Crafts products in the info bar down below. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.